You have come far. You have learned to assume the end, to embody the state of your fulfilled desire, to hold your inner tone steady in the face of contradiction. And now, we come to the final movement in this great symphony of transformation, the art of sustaining the state. It is one thing to assume the state for a moment. It is another to sustain it as a way of being. Most people dip into the state of the wish, fulfilled like a visitor. They visualize for a few minutes, say their affirmations, and then return to the identity of the seeker, the identity of the one who does not yet have. But to truly manifest a new world, you must inhabit the state. You must live in it the way a tree lives in its root, effortlessly, fully, without wavering. This is not about intensity. This is about stability. Stability is what turns imagination into form. Stability is what magnetizes reality to your identity. And stability is not measured by your excitement. It is measured by your normalcy. The fulfilled state must become so natural, so ordinary to you, that it feels inevitable, automatic. You are no longer trying to stay in the state. You are the state. This is when the world shifts, when the new becomes your dominant vibration, your primary dwelling place. So how do you sustain the state? First, by recognizing that this is not a race. This is not about urgency. The assumption of urgency is rooted in the state of lack. The more you believe something must happen now, the more you reinforce the idea that it is not yet yours. Instead, treat the state like a relationship. You are not trying to extract something from it. You are learning to abide in it, to nurture it, to return to it when you drift. There will be days when the old self whispers, when doubts arise, when conditions seem unchanged. Do not resist this. Do not punish yourself for slipping. Simply notice, I've left the state. Then gently return. This is not about perfection. This is about practice. And practice is not performance. It is presence. Presence means you become aware of when you are being the old self and when you are being the new. You become sensitive to the tone of your thoughts, the posture of your body, the flow of your emotions. Are they flowing from the one who has or from the one who waits? To sustain the state, you must be deliberate with your environment, not to escape life, but to support your chosen identity. Your outer world is a symphony of triggers and echoes. The music you allow in, the voices you listen to, the environments you frequent, these all influence the frequency you sustain. Surround yourself with reminders of your new state. Not props, not fake it till you make it, but symbols that speak to your subconscious. This is who I am now. Write letters from your future self. Record voice memos as the one who already has. Keep company with those who mirror your desired vibration. Your senses are the servants of your consciousness. Let them feed the state you have chosen. Next, make stillness a practice. In stillness, you listen to the tone of your being. You are not trying to manifest. You are resting in your identity. Take 5 minutes in the morning, 5 at night, and sit quietly in the energy of the fulfilled version of yourself. Don't try to feel ecstatic. Just feel settled. Let this state feel so steady that it becomes your emotional home. If visualization helps you, use it. But do not visualize to create. Visualize to remember. You are not building a future. You are returning to your truth. Let the scenes you imagine carry the scent of inevitability. When you feel restless, do not seek distraction. Seek integration. Ask, what does my new self do when things are quiet? When doubts arise, do not argue with them. Let them pass like clouds. You are the sky, not the weather. When conditions appear stagnant, remind yourself, I no longer use the outer world to measure my inner certainty. I walk by faith, not by sight. This is not about willpower. It is about inner rhythm. Rhythm is created by consistency. So I ask you, what does the fulfilled version of you do daily? Not dramatically, but consistently. Does this version rise with gratitude? Speak with clarity. Move with decisiveness. Begin to live in those rhythms. Let your days become aligned with the tempo of your new identity. And when you fall out of sync, do not despair. The return is always one breath away. Here's something important. Your identity is self-reinforced. The more you act from the fulfilled state, the more evidence you create. The more evidence you see, the easier it becomes to sustain. So don't chase proof. Become proof. If nothing changes outwardly, but you maintain the inner tone, you are successful. Because it is your state, not your results, that determines your next moment. Soon, your inner rhythm will become unshakable. People will ask, what changed? And you won't point to a specific event. You will say, I changed. I chose a new identity and stayed faithful to it. And that is the secret, faithfulness. Faith is not belief without evidence. Faith is the evidence. Faith is remaining in the state long enough for reality to catch up. Reality must catch up, because reality is your echo. So today, do not try to sprint. Walk steady, sure, rooted. Remind yourself, this is who I am now, and say it again tomorrow, and the next day, until one day you realize you haven't just visited the state, you are the state. And the world around you, unable to resist the gravity of your conviction, will conform. Not because you begged it, not because you forced it, but because you became unwavering. You became stable. You became the living embodiment of what was once only imagined. This is the power of sustaining the state. It is a quiet miracle, the subtle mastery, and it belongs to you. Tonight, let us enter sacred territory. We have spoken of living from the end, of assuming the fulfilled state, of embodying the identity of your desire. But there is one final test of mastery, one that separates the curious from the committed, the dreamer from the creator. It is this: can you hold your inner state when the world gives you every reason not to? Can you remain loyal to the version of you who already has, already is, already knows, even when reality appears to contradict that truth? This is the crucible of transformation. This is the proving ground where your inner commitment is tested, not by force, but by contrast. Because here is the truth most avoid. The moment you assume a new state, your old reality often protests. It pushes back, it echoes former assumptions, not because it holds power over you, but because it is catching up. The shadow has not yet shifted, though the light within you already has. In this gap, between assumption and manifestation, lies your opportunity. This is the narrow path, the sacred corridor, where you must hold the tone of the new without flinching. Most abandon their state at the first sign of trouble. A delayed message, a bill in the mail, an argument, a missed opportunity. They say it's not working, and with those words they return to the old identity. They make their reaction the authority instead of their assumption. But you, dear listener, must rise above it. You must become unshakable, not hardened, not defensive, but steady, grounded, unwavering. You must understand, the world you see now is the echo of the old self. What you experience is not truth, it is lag. It is the residue of a state you no longer inhabit. Do not give it meaning. Do not analyze it. Do not argue with it. Hold the tone. This is where real power is cultivated. Not when things are easy, but when they challenge your conviction. When you can look a contradiction in the eye and say, I no longer accept you as real. I am already what I see. How do you do this? You develop spiritual poise. You train yourself to pause before reacting. You remind yourself again and again that your outer world is not your source. Your job is not your source. That person is not your source. The circumstance is not your source. Consciousness is the only source. This is not denial. This is sovereignty. You are not denying facts. You are replacing them. You are saying, though this may appear, it is not my truth. My truth is the state I have chosen. Let me offer you a metaphor. Imagine you are playing a role in a play. You are on stage as a king, but from the wings someone yells, "You're just an actor. You were never royalty." What do? You do not leave the stage to argue. You do not break character. You do not drop the crown. You continue to act as if, not because you are pretending, but because the role has become your identity. So too must you respond when your world shouts, "You're not there yet. You're still sick, still broke, still alone." Do not break character. Speak within as the one who has already arrived. Here is a practical method. When something triggers your old self, a fear, a doubt, a piece of evidence, a breath, and ask, "Who am I being right now?" If the answer is the one who lacks, then you have left the state. Gently return. Speak softly to yourself. That was an old echo. I do not identify with it. I am already fulfilled. Hold the tone. It may feel awkward at first, but this is your training ground. Each time you refuse to react, you strengthen the new identity. Each time you remain in state under pressure, you accelerate the shift. Understand, the universe is not testing you, it is reflecting you. When something arises that feels like a challenge, ask yourself, what part of me is still available to this? That part must dissolve. Your job is not to fight what appears. Your job is to stop energizing it, to stop identifying with it, to stop reacting to it as if it matters. You must become indifferent to contradiction. Indifference does not mean apathy. It means you are no longer moved by the illusion of delay. You see through the appearance. You respond from the end. Let me tell you a truth few understand. The moment you no longer react to the old, the new can finally appear. Reaction sustains what you say you no longer want. Reaction is loyalty to the unwanted. Reaction is attention, and attention is power. So when delay arises, bless it. Say, "Thank you for showing me where I still need to solidify my assumption. Thank you for the opportunity to embody my truth more deeply." This is the path of the master, not emotional reactivity, but sovereign calm. Not outer validation, but inner alignment. When you hold your state under pressure, you are doing what few dare to do. You are refusing to compromise your identity. You are refusing to collapse. You are refusing to live as a reaction. You are claiming your throne, and from that throne you speak. You declare, you persist. This is what it means to walk by faith and not by sight. This is what it means to call things that are not as though they were. This is what it means to become. You are not waiting for result. You are demonstrating truth. You are not seeking signs. You are being the sign. So the next time contrast arises, do not tremble. Do not explain. Do not justify. Smile. Say, there you are, old self. You are moved by the spirit within, not the pressures without. You realize that your external world is malleable, not fixed. That circumstances are servants, not masters. But most importantly, you realize that the joy of manifestation is not in acquiring the thing, it is in being the one who knows they already have it. This is why the feeling of the wish fulfilled is so powerful. Because it frees you now. It liberates you from time, from doubt, from seeking. It allows you to live in the highest possible frequency of being, certainty. Certainty is not arrogance. It is alignment. To be certain is to say, I no longer need evidence. I am the evidence. Now, I offer you a practical suggestion. Start small. Choose one ordinary part of your day and make it sacred by infusing it with the consciousness of your fulfilled desire. If you drink tea in the morning, let it be the tea of someone who has already succeeded. Feel the richness of it. Hear yourself say within, this is the life I always knew I would live. If you walk to your car, walk as one who is deeply at peace with their reality. Whisper to yourself, everything is working out in my favor. If you sit at your desk, sit as one who is already influential, impactful, fulfilled. Do not underestimate these small acts of embodiment. They are not trivial. They are powerful activations. They tell the universe, this is who I am now. And when you say that with your being, not just your words, but your walk, your breath, your gaze, reality will rush to affirm it. This is the mystery that the mystics knew. You are not here to chase shadows. You are here to cast new ones. You are not here to react. You are here to remember. So remember now who you are. You are the operant power. You are the fulfilled state in motion. You are the one who no longer waits. You are. And in that being, your world must conform. This is not philosophy. This is not motivational fluff. This is law. Let it be done unto you according to your assumption. And let your assumption be demonstrated in how you live, speak, move, and love. From this day forward, be the proof. The fulfilled state is no longer something you visit. It is someone you become. It is you. Tonight, we move into the heart of this teaching, not merely the practice of inner conversation, nor the moment of pre-sleep assumption, but something even more radical, more demanding, and more transformative. To live from the end is to die to every former version of yourself that did not include the fulfillment of your desire. It is to withdraw completely from the state of waiting, from the state of hoping, from the illusion of becoming, and instead enter into being. Not next month, not when circumstances align, not when it feels safe. Now, but this is where most stumble. They think to themselves, I cannot act as though I am successful when the evidence contradicts me. Cannot feel married when I am alone in my bed. I cannot walk as though I am healthy when my body aches. Yet I tell you, unless you assume the state regardless of appearances, you will continue to manifest more of the same. You must dare to claim your desire as fact, while everything around you seems to deny it. For the outer world is only the residue of former assumptions. What you see now is not truth, but a shadow. Truth lies in your consciousness. Let us go deeper. To assume the end is not to pretend, not to act in delusion. It is to feel into the experience of already having, already being, already knowing. It is a shift in identity. You are not visualizing a future. You are embodying a present. You are not wishing. You are dwelling. This is a psychological act of the highest order. When you live from the end, you are moving from imagination as daydream to imagination as reality. This is the secret Jesus revealed when he said, when you pray, believe you have received it, and it shall be yours. There is no prayer more powerful than identity. The one who believes they have already received is not praying for anything. They are praying from the answer. Consider this. If you were already wealthy, you would not wonder where the money will come from. You would not plan from limitation. You would not feel the vibration of lack. Your decisions would be different. Your thoughts, casual and confident. Your speech, free of concern. This is what it means to live from the end. Let me share something few understand. Every action, every conversation, every thought must now flow from the end state. This is not about forcing outer behavior. It is about allowing that new inner state to permeate every corner of your being. Think of a man who desires to be in perfect health. He doesn't just speak health as he drifts asleep. He wakes and moves from the assumption that his body is a masterpiece, whole and vibrant. He blesses his body in thought. He selects food with gratitude, not fear. He walks with dignity, not to convince others, but because this is who he now is. A woman seeking love does not search or strive. She does not ask, where is he? Instead, she moves through her day feeling secure, delighted, cherished. She wears the assumption of being chosen. Her speech, her manner, her mood, all echo the tone of fulfillment. This is the great divide between hoping and knowing, between longing and living. Now, let us speak of time. When you live from the end, you step out of linear time. There is no more waiting. You are no longer on the journey. You are the destination. And this, paradoxically, accelerates the manifestation. You are no longer vibrating at someday. You are vibrating at now. And so life must respond in kind. But here is where most falter. They check for results. They measure their success by the 5 senses. They say it's been 2 weeks and nothing has happened. And so they slip from the end and re-enter the state of becoming. They undo the work of imagination with the doubt of reaction. Let me be very clear. You must persist in the state even when appearances mock you. Even when there is no evidence. Especially then. For persistence in the face of contradiction is the crucible where faith becomes fact. You are not repeating affirmations. You are assuming identity. You are not begging the universe. You are being the creator. And how do you know if you are truly living from the end? By the ease, by the peace, by the absence of craving. You no longer chase the desire. You are the desire fulfilled. You walk differently. You speak differently. Not out of effort, but because you have shifted states. The world responds not to what you want, but to who you are being. Let us make this practical. Choose one desire, just one. And for the next 24 hours, refuse to think from any other state but that of it already being yours. Do not entertain problems. Do not justify the old identity. Simply say, it is done, and carry that vibration in everything. What you will discover is astonishing. You will feel as though life begins to rearrange itself around your new self-concept. People will treat you differently. Ideas will come. Synchronicities will appear. But more than that, you will change. You will not be the person who wants. You will be the person who already has. And from that state, the having must manifest. This is not wishful thinking. It is spiritual law. In the book of Exodus, the Lord says, I am that I am. Not I will be. Not I hope to be. But I am. This is the ultimate affirmation. This is the end assumed. This is your true nature. Tonight, I urge you, do not dabble in imagination. Do not test this law as a curious experiment. Embody it. Commit to it. Let go of the old state completely. Do not explain it, defend it, or revisit it. Disappear from who you were as who you choose to be. And if you persist, if you remain loyal to this new identity, you will see your world bend, break, and remake itself to mirror your assumption. Not by force, not by struggle, but by the law. Live from the end, and the end shall be made visible. There is a moment each day when the veil between worlds becomes thin, a time when the conscious mind releases its grip, and the subconscious, the creative core of your being, becomes accessible, pliable, and deeply receptive. This moment is not found in action or effort, but in stillness. It is the time just before sleep. Tonight, I want to lead you into the deepest chamber of the temple within, a sacred moment that holds more creative power than all your striving during the waking hour. You see, what you impress upon your subconscious mind in that drowsy, yielding interval before sleep determines the shape and substance of your future. It is not the hours of repetition during the day, nor the intensity of your affirmations. It is the state you carry into sleep that becomes the seed of tomorrow. Why is this moment so powerful? Because in that twilight zone between waking and sleeping, your conscious mind is no longer guarding the gates. The critical faculties grow silent. The emotional body is stirred. In this receptive state, your inner conversation enters the deep waters of the subconscious mind without resistance. And once planted there, it grows. But here is what most people do. They lie down, exhausted, and they replay the worries of the day. They think of arguments, failures, disappointments. They dwell in lack, in illness, in fear. They carry the weight of the world into their sleep, not realizing that they are scripting the next scene of their life's play. The subconscious takes this inner talk and says, so be it. Now let me offer you the higher way. As you approach sleep, become very still. Do not wrestle with thoughts. Do not try to suppress or control them. Instead, begin to speak within yourself from the state of your fulfilled desire. Not of it, but from it. Use the language of gratitude. Use the tone of fulfillment. If you seek love, speak within yourself as though it is already yours. I feel so cherished, so deeply connected. Our conversations are filled with laughter. It feels so natural to be loved this way. It feels so natural to be loved this way. If you desire abundance, let your inner voice say, I am so grateful for the overflow in my life. I love the ease with which everything unfolds. There is more than enough. Always. Do not force these words. Simply assume that they are true. Let them rise naturally, as though you are remembering a dream that has become real. Feel into it. This is not just a technique. It is a state of being. The words must carry the vibration of belief, of presence. Imagine your entire body infused with this inner knowing. Let the emotional tone of your wish fulfilled saturate your being. Now let us speak of the deeper mystery. In this state of pre-sleep, you are entering what ancient mystics called the inner sanctuary. You are stepping beyond time, into eternity. Here, all states exist. Every version of you, the wealthy, the healthy, the loved, the powerful, is already real. You are not creating these states. You are selecting them. The subconscious is not moved by pleading or begging. It responds only to the assumed state. It responds to feeling. And feeling is the secret. This is why you must never go to bed rehearsing lack. If your desire is to be well, do not fall asleep pondering symptoms or reading diagnosis. Speak to yourself gently, silently. My body is a miracle. Every cell hums with vitality. I sleep in perfect peace, and I rise in perfect health. Now some of you might say, but I don't believe these words yet. That is precisely why you must practice them. Not because they are a lie, but because they are more true than the illusions of your current experience. Truth is not what your senses tell you. Truth is what you persistently assume. The pre-sleep interval is your secret doorway. It is the moment you re-enter the garden. In this state, your imagination becomes causative. You are not visualizing. You are stepping into an alternate reality and allowing it to possess you. The voice within becomes the voice of the new you. Let us be specific. You desire to grow a business. In the drowsy moments before sleep, imagine a short, vivid scene that implies success. Hear a client say, working with you has changed everything. Feel the joy of checking your account and seeing the results. But don't simply watch it, be in it. Speak the lines within yourself. Let your inner dialogue carry the emotion. Or perhaps you seek reconciliation with someone estranged. Do not fall asleep dwelling on past hurts. Instead, hear their voice in your imagination. I'm so glad we talked. I missed it. Feel the relief, the closeness, the naturalness of harmony restored. This is not fiction. It is selection. The world outside will conform to the inner talk you persist in carrying into sleep. And the deeper the feeling, the more rapidly it crystallizes into form. Now a word on discipline. This is not a one-night miracle, though miracles do occur. This is a way of being. Just as the body is nourished by daily bread, so too must the soul be nourished by daily assumption. Every night, you have the opportunity to impress the subconscious. Waste it, and you relive the past. Use it, and you reshape the future. Your inner conversation as you drift into sleep becomes the soil, the seed, and the sun of your coming days. You are planting not only events, but emotions, relationships, opportunities, and timelines. This is why I say, go to sleep as the one who already is. Do not lay there, wondering, hoping, needing. Assume, rest in the feeling that it is done. And from that state, let your speech arise. As you continue this practice, you will notice a shift, first in your emotions, then in your perceptions, then in your outer world. It may begin subtly, a change in mood, a coincidence, an invitation. But soon, the entire landscape of your life reshapes to mirror the state you have carried consistently into the womb of night. You are not at the mercy of fate. You are not waiting for permission. You are the operant power, and the key to it all lies in this sacred act, the inner conversation before sleep. Let your final words each night be words of love, of power, of fulfillment. Speak not of what you want, but as the one who already has. Speak softly, joyfully, confidently. Speak as God speaks. From the end. This, dear friends, is the golden door. Use it wisely, use it deliberately, and your entire world will bow to the voice within. For the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And that Word, whispered within you as you fall into sleep, is creating your tomorrow. Neville Goddard style rewrite. If you knew this secret, you will manifest faster. Let me share with you tonight a secret so profound, so transformative, that to hear it and understand it is to unlock the very mechanism by which your reality unfolds. This is not a secret born of theory or speculation, but of experience, an eternal truth that has changed lives, shaped destinies, and redefined what is possible. You have asked me, time and again, why your manifestations seem slow. Why desires appear to drift further as you strive harder. Why, despite affirming, visualizing, praying, you remain in the shadow of what you see. And tonight, I shall reveal why. More than that, I will show you how to manifest with such speed that your world transforms before your very eyes. Let us begin with the Word. In the book of John, it is written, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." This word, my friends, is not mere sound. It is not your audible voice. The Word is your inner speech, your silent, ceaseless conversation with yourself. It is your mental dialogue, flowing beneath the surface of your waking life. This inner conversation, that is the secret. That is the cause of all that appears in your world. Not some things, not most things, everything. When this is grasped, truly understood, manifestation becomes not a process, but an inevitability. Let me illustrate. A woman came to me in tears. Her son had been estranged for years. She had visualized, affirmed, even traveled to see him, but he would not receive her. Yet, her inner speech remained in contradiction. Why won't he forgive me? What did I do? Will he call? She was sustaining the state of separation through her inner talk. I asked her to revise it, to speak within herself only of reunion. How beautiful it is to speak to my son each day. His voice is filled with love. Within a week, he called. He apologized. Their bond was restored, not through action, but through assumption. Now understand this. Your inner conversation must match the state you wish to occupy. If you claim to desire wealth, but your internal dialogue repeats, "I never have enough, everything is too expensive," then that is your true assumption, and that is what you shall see. For your treasure is not what you say you want. Your treasure is what your heart repeats in silence. The speed of your manifestation is in direct proportion to the consistency of this inner speech. Speak from your desire, not of it. Speak as though you are already the one who possesses it. For when inner speech and assumption are in harmony, manifestation flows as surely as day follows night. You say, "But Neville, I try to think positively, yet my mind resists." That is because you are trying to force the state rather than assume it. When you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, the thoughts, words, and feelings of that state come naturally. They are not forced, they are inevitable. Tonight, when you lie down to sleep, do not struggle with affirmations or visualization. Simply listen. Hear what your mind says of your life, your health, your finances, your relationship. You will find that your current reality is an exact mirror of that speech. Now, if you wish to change your life, change that speech. Not by willpower, but by assumption. Assume the state of the fulfilled desire, and your inner conversation will transform by law. A woman who wishes to be married may affirm, "I am happily married," But if her inner talk is filled with loneliness, doubt, and longing, she is not occupying the state. When she assumes the state of being loved, her inner conversation changes too. My husband is so thoughtful. I love the life we share. And her word will conform. I am the Alpha and the Omega, it says in Revelation, the beginning and the end. That is your consciousness, your I am. Your every inner word shapes it. I am struggling manifests struggle. I am waiting manifests delay. The only way to truly manifest is to be the one who already has, already is. Beware of monitoring every thought. This only creates strain. Instead, simply live from the state of the wish fulfilled. Let the natural inner conversation of that state flow. Remember, Job, what I feared has come upon me. Fear is not passive. It is active inner speech, and it creates as surely as desire. You must not accept the fears and doubts of others. They have no power in your world unless you internalize them. Let me tell you of a man in business. Everyone around him spoke of recession, collapse. But he maintained a single line of inner speech. My business is thriving. Opportunities abound. While others fell, he rose. Was it luck? No, it was law. Most people speak of the future. I will have, I will become. And so the desire stays in the future. But in Isaiah, it is written, before they call, I will answer. That answer is your assumption, already fulfilled. You must speak from it, not toward it. If you desire money, do not say, money is coming. Say, I love how easily money flows to me. It must feel real. It must feel natural. For what you feel to be true in imagination will harden into fact. Your inner conversation is not limited to yourself. What you think of others, you create in them. A woman with a difficult mother-in-law changed her inner speech from criticism to love. Within weeks, their relationship was transformed. The mother-in-law did not change of her own will. She changed as a reflection of the woman's new inner talk. Time too is a creation of inner speech. Speak of waiting, and you shall wait. Speak from being, and manifestation is now. A man once came to me, always saying, I am getting close to wealth. I told him, that is why it eludes you. Begin to say, I love having more than enough. Within days, windfalls arrived. The law works perfectly. The Psalms say, delight thyself also in the Lord. There is delight, that is the feeling. Without the emotion of fulfillment, the words are empty. Fill your inner speech with the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The moments before sleep are sacred. As you drift off, do not rehearse problems. Commune with your heart, and let your last thoughts be from the state you wish to occupy. A man seeking promotion changed his bedtime speech from effort and striving to gratitude, and a woman facing illness maintained a speech of health. My body is strong, vital, and it became so. Guard your inner speech. Proverbs warns, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Your heart is your inner conversation. When you let others speak fear into your inner world, you surrender your creative power. A young artist once stood alone, rejected, criticized, but she kept a simple inner refrain. My art is valuable. My work touches souls. And soon, galleries opened to her, collectors sought her. What changed was not the world. It was her speech. Double-mindedness is the death of manifestation. James tells us, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Do not affirm wealth, and then internally speak of lack. Your inner speech must be faithful to your assumption. Every moment is your opportunity. When you shop, do you think of lack or of preference? When you eat, do you focus on cost or pleasure? Each thought is creative. Each word, internal or external, forms the fabric of your life. And remember, it is not the monitoring of thoughts that creates, but the assumption of the fulfilled state. Let the mind be in you, the mind of Christ, the mind that knows it is already done. Your relationships, your health, your finances, they will conform to the inner talk you sustain. You do not need to control them. You need only to occupy the state of your wish fulfilled. The words, the feelings, the actions appropriate to that state will arise effortlessly. And so I say unto you, there is no one to change but self. And self is changed by changing the inner conversation. The world is yourself pushed out. Change the self, and you change the world. Tonight, begin anew. Listen to your inner speech. Hear what it is creating. Then assume the end. Speak from it. Feel from it. Think from it. For this is the law, and this is the promise. According to your faith be it unto you. Your faith is your assumption. Your assumption is spoken in your inner